Hey my friends, how you doing today? Hope you're all doing well, hope you're all safe, hope you're having a good week. So we're gonna continue talking about our bugs this week, okay? So we already talked about the caterpillar and the ladybug. And last week you told me that you wanted to talk about the grasshopper. So let's talk a little bit about the grasshopper today. Alright, here we go. Okay, let's do this. You guys gave me a hard one to draw today, okay? So I'm gonna try my best to draw it. Here we go. So we're gonna start with our grasshopper's head. Alright. And on their head, we have an eye. And they have their two antenna, just like all the other bugs, remember? And they use their antenna so they can sense their food. So they can try to find their food. So they can smell. There you go. So they have their antenna and their eye, and that's on their head. Next, remember their next body part is called their thorax. So that's the thorax. Okay. Thorax. Do you guys remember what the next body part is called? That was called their abdomen. Okay, so that's the abdomen. And on the abdomen, that's where they have their legs. And do you guys remember how many legs bugs have? That's right, they have 6 legs. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So these are their 4 legs that they have in the front. And then their 2 back legs are the most important ones. So let me tell you why. These are their biggest legs. Look how long they are. Okay, they have one on this side. And then they have one on the other side. Which comes out down here. Okay, so what's special about these legs is that they're really big and they're really long, and they use them as a catapult so they can jump really, really high. So they push down on their legs, they push down, down, down. They build up that energy, and when they release it, they jump really high. And that's how we see the grasshoppers jumping around, hopping around, because of these 2 back legs. All right, so remember they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 legs. And remember, these 2 are the most important ones because that's how they jump around. And on their abdomen, grasshoppers also have wings. And some people forget that they have wings because they usually hop around, but they can also fly. They have their wings up here. So they have 4 wings. They have 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 wings, just like the ladybug. All right? They also have 4 wings. Okay, so remember we had the antenna. We had the eye on their head. All right? We have their 4 wings. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we have their 6 legs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let me write wings up here. 4 wings. Okay. Now let me tell you something else that's really interesting about the grasshopper. This I didn't know. Even I just learned this. So they don't have ears. What they have their ear, or something that's like an ear, on their thorax. They have something called the tympanum. No, that's a big word. Tympanum. Tympanum. And the tympanum is like their ear. So they don't have ears on their head. They listen with their thorax. It's on their chest area. Right? So that's what they use to listen for sounds, listen to see if there's animals coming to try to eat them, so they can stay safe. Okay? And another interesting thing about the grasshopper, which I also just learned, is that they don't breathe with a nose, or they don't breathe through their head like we do. They breathe through their abdomen. In their abdomen, they have little holes. Right? And those little holes are called spiracles. Spiracles, another big word. Spiracles. Right? So they use these little holes to take in the air and breathe and distribute oxygen throughout their body. Like we take a deep breath through our nose, right, on our head. But they don't have a nose. They breathe through their body down here. So that was really interesting. I didn't know that. All right. And the last interesting thing is, do you remember with the ladybug that she released some ooze through her feet and her legs to defend herself? That stinky ooze that we talked about, right? That tasted nasty, so other animals wouldn't want to eat it. Well, the grasshopper releases that through its mouth. So if it ever feels in danger or wants to defend itself, it'll release ooze from its mouth that doesn't taste good and it's kind of stinky, so that other animals don't try to eat it. All right, so there are a few things I learned about the grasshopper. Let's go over it one more time. So on its head, we have his eye, his antenna, and his mouth where he oozes the ooze out to protect itself. On his thorax, all right, we have the tympanum, and remember that's like his ear. That's what they use to hear and to listen to the surroundings. And on their abdomen, we have the 4 wings. Remember, they have 4 wings. And we have their legs. Remember, 6 legs, like all the other. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But remember, the most important ones are their back legs, because those are the biggest ones that they use to hop. Remember, they squeeze down and use it like a catapult, and they spring up and jump really, really high. Right? And then we also have the spiracles. Remember, spiracles is what they use to breathe. So they breathe with their body, with their bellies, because they don't have a nose. All right, there you have it, my friends. A little bit about the grasshopper. Let's color him in. Oh, and the green body part of their grasshopper, their shell, it's kind of like a shell because it's really hard. It's called an exoskeleton. Because we have our skin, right? We have skin, but it's not that hard. Their shell is hard, so they call it an exoskeleton. Yeah, and it could be a lot of different colors because grasshoppers can camouflage. They change colors depending on their environment. So if they're in a bush or on a leaf, they can be green, so they can camouflage and other animals can't see them. But if they're on a tree trunk or on a rock or in soil, they can be brown, so they can blend into their surroundings, so they can camouflage. All right, my friends, there you have it for little grasshopper. So let me see if you can draw a grasshopper at home so you can show me on Thursday, and I want to see what you can remember, okay?